What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR and welcome back to the movie review. And today we are reviewing Monster Mash, which most of you probably have not heard of this animated film, and that doesn't really surprise me. This is a movie that I grew up with watching on VHS back in the day, and it is something that I have very fond memories of. So I decided for this year on Halloween, let's review it. I just rewatched this last night with a couple friends of mine, and they really enjoyed it. And before I get to the actual review and the synopsis, first off, this movie is kind of just forgotten by most people, or just didn't even know about it to begin with. From my research, I could literally only find 5 other people on YouTube who have reviewed this. 5. Which is crazy. And they're all from about 9 or 8 years ago, which is kind of insane, except for one. One of them is 4 years ago. But still, it's kind of crazy. I don't really know about this, so it's kind of interesting to review. So, there is no Rotten Tomatoes page for this movie. I looked, I could not find it. So I'm going to get the description from somewhere else. So here's the synopsis that I found. Drac, Frank, and Wolf were the scariest monsters around until they became associated with fun and other things happening, like Drac no longer having fangs and Wolf going bald. They end up summoned by the superior Court of Horrors, where the judge orders them to prove that they are still scared by the end of 24 hours, or they will be sentenced to eternity of entertaining children's birthday parties. Drac, Frank, and Wolf are assigned to scare the Tinkelmeister family. Now, going into this, didn't know where my expectations were, because obviously going into this I knew I would have some nostalgia bias because I grew up watching this thing a lot, actually, and I mean a lot. This was a tape that we had and we probably wore it the heck out, and it was something that I loved growing up. I loved this movie growing up. And going back into it, I don't know where my expectations were. I was actually worried that I was going to hate it being grown up, because I realized the things that are really wrong with it. Kind of like how I am with Space Jam. Space Jam's a movie I grew up with loving, but then grew up and I was like, oh yeah, I can still have fun with that, but I realized it's a bad movie. This, personally, I don't think I could say it's bad. This movie's barely even an hour. It's an hour and 4 minutes, something like that. It's really short. And if you want to track it down, it took me a minute to find it. It's on Pluto TV, which is a free channel thing app, but you can. It's official and everything, and so that's how we watched it last night, because I was searched for it everywhere and could not find it, and that's where I found it. So that was awesome, and. Let's talk about the animation first. The animation at points can look a little odd, and obviously a few minor animation errors and things like that. For the most part, the animation, especially for 2000, was a lot of fun. I'm serious. This was a lot of fun with the animation. I think the animation looks good. I think that there's a times I was actually genuinely laughing at some of the jokes, especially being a horror fan. Some stuff I really couldn't really get when I was a kid. And there's also a couple musical numbers in here that are all right. There's one where they're singing about the kid in it that needs to speak. That's a catchy tune. And there's one where it's When We Were Bad, which I love that song. And just the whole thing with them fighting the new monsters. There's this Freddy Krueger, Jason pasta monster type guy. And then there's this thing that basically looks like a xenomorph. And then there's this little doll thing, kind of chickie, and she can change channels and stuff, and manipulate reality basically with a changing of a channel, but which is obviously meant to be a parody of Chucky, and seeing something like that and seeing like these like quote unquote the modern horror clash with the classic horror was really interesting to watch and was fun. And the in between bits, there's some little cringe moments here and there. Yeah, definitely. And I could have just enjoyed this a lot more because of my nostalgia, and I'm blinded by nostalgia. I don't know, but there is some stuff that is cringy here. There is some stuff that's not aged as well. But a lot of it doesn't feel that dated to me. A lot of it feels like you could pop this on. The only thing that dates is like the VHS stuff. That's really the only thing that really dates it, and that's barely in the movie. The family in the movie. The family is interesting enough. I think like the dad is probably my favorite character of the family. The rest of them are really just kind of forgettable. There's nothing really to love about the characters, but like they're there, and you can definitely like the mom likes to clean. The dad is scared, and he's easy to scare. And there's he was a dog barber. The little boy Spike, he's smart and he doesn't speak. He whistles. And I don't remember what the girl's name was. But the sister, it's just like I'm not really scared of any of this type thing. Like, there's not really much to her, really. I don't feel like it would describe her. Everyone else has a little more character to them, I guess. But like I said, the dad's probably my favorite character. And then you get to Drac Franken. Drac, I think, is freaking fun as heck. I think like this old, almost kind of washed up version of him, but also he's still got it. Vampire Dracula is kind of a nice, probably one of my favorite adaptations of this. Frank is like not the best one of the three. I think he's the weakest one of the three. I find fun with him, but I'm not like don't really love him or anything. But then there's Wolf. Wolf is funny. There's just one scene where he's like explaining like why the new modern horror ones are soulless or whatever, unlike them, and like everyone looks at him and like he's using these big words and everything. It's like explaining it in like a really well way, and I'm like, they all look at him, they're like, what? But the movie overall is a fun time. I don't have a critic score to tell you guys from Rotten Tomatoes this time around, but I will tell you that this movie is. I have to get. I don't know if it's nostalgia bias or what, but this is a lot of fun, and I would put this on any time, even not during the Halloween season. I think this is a fun hour to kill. This is a great way to kill an hour. It's fun. It's got some fun times. It's nothing grand or anything, but I think for what it is, I would solidly put this movie at least a very high 3.5. I feel like it's a very good spot there. I don't want to go too nice to it, but you could say it's not a 4 because of some of the cringeness, I guess. And obviously, Made Popular is the song Monster Mash. The actual song is in the movie. Don't worry, it's in the movie, and I feel like it's implemented well. But that's all I have to say for this review, guys. And before we end the video, but Creepy Frights is not over. VTR's Creepy Frights will continue to November 15th. And then after that, the day after that, VTR's Joyful Christmas will start. So keep an eye out for more Creepy Frights to come. We still have 15 days of VTR's Creepy Frights to come, so do not worry, we are not done. But also, happy Halloween, guys, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!